Just have to take a quick minute to thank our sponsors, Yellow Dog Paddle, Mackin's Rippin Lips Fishing Trips, NJFishing.com, and 8 Ball Sport Fishing. Also have to thank our supporters, Mike K's Guide Service, Psycho Jigs, Lip Glue, FC Fish Company, Nor'easter Hardcore Apparel, Toggy Time Jigs, the Mimmi Sick, and the Gambler. NJFishing.com, now offering almost 28 years of the #1 fishing resource in New Jersey for both freshwater and saltwater. 100% completely free. All you have to do is email Jerry Zagorski and ask for a username and password. Gives you access to the archive of freshwater and saltwater. Basically going back how far, Chris? Longer than any of us could ever read. Yeah, it just goes back forever. NJFishing.com, 100% free. Also, if you're looking to go on a party or charter boat, they are all listed there, and reviews of them are there, and the forums. Great website, great resource. It's how I met Chris. NJFishing.com. Check it out today. Hello, and welcome to episode number 107 of the NJ Multi-Species Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Santiago. As always, my partner, Chris Pereira.
How you doing?
There he is. Long week, Chris. A lot of sleepless nights because of the fishing tournament we were in, and we both did really good.
Yeah, I mean, I went Thursday. I mean, look, I'm going night fishing anyway. Probably the same amount, so I don't think it really affected me. I hope people like catch on to how much fun this is. It's just hilarious, like fishing against all these other people. I mean,
it is fun. I had a blast, and I wouldn't have. I always go Thursday night, so I did do that as normal. Thomas Wyatt came up from South Jersey, and Max. That was fun. Saturday night, I did go back out because of the contest. If there wasn't a contest, probably wouldn't have gone back out. Went back out fueled in anger, kind of, and just had to do it. So, yeah, it did push me, but it is fun. Like, I'm on one lake, Dwayne's on another lake. I'm looking at the app, seeing what people are submitting as it comes in. It was really cool.
Well, there is one issue with the app, right? So it only shows, because it's part of the main, like the big contest, like the season-long multi-species contest.
Yeah.
It only really shows your top fish, right? So when you're doing your top 3 fish for this mini contest that only lasts the 3 nights, it really only shows your top fish. Like, I couldn't go on there and see what you caught other than your biggest one.
No. But there was a group, kind of text thing going around, so people knew, and Kevin was updating it. I think the reason he did that was because if he opens it as a separate contest on the app, everyone would get charged that $3 service fee again.
Yeah.
So I think he just didn't want to, he wanted to avoid having to pay that every time, because he's already planning a bass one and a catfish one and all kinds of these little miniature contests inside the big one. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I had a lot of fun. Thursday night I went out, took Thomas Wyatt. Tom caught a 25 1/4 hybrid, a real beautiful fish, and a second fish. He caught 2 really nice hybrids. Max had 2 really nice hybrids. I had a walleye and a hybrid. Thursday night fishing was real good. And then Saturday night fishing was probably one of the best nights I've ever had, size-wise. Not numbers-wise. We boated 5. But man, looking to put up 3. My 2 fish from Thursday were called out. I caught 4 fish Friday. So I caught 4 fish Saturday night, and all 4 were bigger than the 2 I entered Thursday. Yeah, Saturday was just unreal. I actually went there. I went there shooting for 3rd place because I realistically thought your number was unbeatable. I said he has 2 24-inch fish. There's no way I'm going to pull that off one night. And I ended up getting a 25 and a quarter and a 25 and a half, a 24 and a half, and a 23 and 3/4. It was just 4 giants. And then at the end, my wife caught a 24 and a half, I think. Another one, a 5th monster. Unbelievable night Saturday. I don't know what to say. Never saw that shit coming, ever.
Now, your wife's not in the contest, right?
No.
Well, how are we supposed to know you didn't bully her into using her fish for yourself?
Well, no, I didn't use her fish for myself, but after the Thursday night thing, I was like, all right, well, we all went out. We had fun. Everybody caught fish, but like this is a contest now. And I had 2 people come on my boat. They both caught bigger fish than me. And I'm like, I'm going back out alone. You know, like I want one night to fish by myself. And I didn't want to really go by myself alone in the dark. So I brought my wife.
Wait, you're scared of the dark?
Huh?
You're scared of the dark?
I didn't want to be out there all alone all night. But then she ended up not catching anything. I felt really bad. And she was really trying hard. So I ended up...
Tell the whole story. You didn't give her the lure.
I did. I was switching her lure around. I started off with a top water lure, and I gave her subsurface, and I caught a smallmouth. And I eventually switched to the lure you told me to, the color you told me to.
Well, why didn't you give that to her?
Eventually I did. I don't like to keep the same 2 on the... I kept switching hers to experiment. It just didn't happen.
You used your wife as a guinea pig.
Yeah, she was a tester.
Does she
but
watch
at the end, we ended up staying way later than I ever would. And maybe within like the last half hour, I heard the drag take off. I was like, oh, thank God. And it was a big one, 24 and a half. She was like, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, quiet. Like, you make too much noise. There'll be 8 boats here. Like, just shut up. Reel a fish and we'll get it. She was really excited and happy. Then I ran out of gas because I'm using a new gas tank I'm not used to yet, and I ran out. Kevin had to come by me with... Here's what's hilarious. I call Kevin for help. I'm like, Kevin, I'm out of gas. I either need a tow in or I need some fuel. So, all right, I'm on my way. He pulls up. He's towing Justin Yanetta. Like, he's already towing Justin Yanetta on another boat. So now, I have pictures of this, too, if we could pop it up. So he's towing Justin Yanetta in and now fueling my boat. So Kevin's like sea tow out there on the lake, like just taking care of everyone. I have the pictures hilarious. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, really fun. And the contest in a whole, I had a great time. It was fun.
Now, because he was so helpful to everyone, are we not allowed to bust his balls?
No, he wasn't that hell. He squirted a couple squirts of gas into my thing. It wasn't that big of a deal. What the Yanetta story was, I have no idea. Like, it's 4 a.m. and all of a sudden he's just got Yanetta attached to his boat. I don't even know where he came from. I was like, what the... Whatever. And Kronk was there.
Do you have any explanation as to how Kevin went this whole time without catching any fish?
I have to believe, and I haven't seen it. I did see it like 3 weeks ago when I showed up, and he like, oh yeah, I caught a walleye already, but then we went fishing and he got nothing again. I don't know if someone gave him that walleye or it was hit by a boat and it was floating by and he scooped it up. But yeah, Chris went out with Kevin and Chris caught 4. How many did you catch?
Oh man, it was more than 4.
It was more than 4. He caught.
I think it was 6. I can't remember. I caught a catfish at one point, and
6.
Whenever I catch it, yeah.
6 fish, 2 of which were over 24, one of which was over 22.
And I lost one that probably made the biggest splash I've ever heard from a freshwater fish in my life.
And you did all this from Kevin's boat while Kevin caught nothing.
That's correct.
Now, Kevin came back out with me Saturday night when I'm talking about I had the night of my life, and he was not far from me. He was in sight, and he caught nothing again.
And he had a version of the lure, of the right lure.
He was using the same lure as me. I have to start to believe he's using some kind of line that just you shouldn't be using, or something's wrong.
I think he might be touching something that's very aversive to fish before he touches his lures. And I don't want to even try to imagine what that might be, because he's pretty weird and it could be something really gross. But that's the only thing I could think of.
Like, you think he's spraying his lures with like insect repellent, like something like that? Like, it has to be.
What if he's not doing it? What if his kid is doing it, or his wife?
I don't know. Something is going on with Kevin Glenn. If you have any input on this, please send us a message, because we are looking for an answer. Is it a curse?
Someone help this guy catch some fish, because, I mean, I got to give it to him. He's in pretty good spirits considering how little fish he's caught over the last couple of trips.
He has a boat, but he likes to fish from shore better. He's the only person that I know that's like that. Like,
that's already weird.
It is, yeah. He doesn't. I don't know what's up. Let's do a Kevin episode. He's worth like a whole episode. We'll just ask him weird questions.
For sure. Oh, I'll bust his balls for 40 minutes straight. That's a whole episode.
Yeah.
But let's segue into this, because our guest tonight makes lures. Maybe he can make something that could help Kevin.
I was going to bring that up. The guest tonight, Nova, he makes specifically.
That's not his name.
I know, but I know the company name. I don't need to know his name. He's not important. What he makes is important. That's what I actually use. I wanted to talk a little bit about this color craze, because the big thing in fishing now, especially when it comes to night fishing for walleye and shit, are these wacky colors. It seems to have like originated in central United States, Wisconsin stuff. Now it's spreading to the entire country, to where we're fishing with lures that are just colors that you would never imagine to buy. You would see this and probably just say, that looks ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically become the standard of night fishing now, for walleye especially. And it's not like I'm spot burning something in New Jersey. This is basically across the whole United States. And Jeff, who's going to come in from Nova, he's basically taken some of those insane colors that we use on our heavy manufactured lures and taken them right over to now customized jerkbaits. So we're going to talk to him, and you'll have an opportunity to get your hands on his lures for fairly cheap price in the colors that we use. So it'll be cool. Hopefully, if we're nice to him, he'll give us a few of them. But yeah, is he ready to come in?
He's ready.
He's ready. All right, let's see if we can get Jeff in. 8-Ball Sportfishing out of Point Pleasant offers extreme flexibility at an affordable price. Captain Dom and his girlfriend Kim run an amazing crew there. Chris already went, I think, once or twice, had an amazing time. I'm looking to go with my wife soon for the first time. But yeah, offers striper trips even after work. Stripers on mini rods after work, striper charters, 6-pack charters. Only thing he doesn't do is blackfish, does sea bass, but that's about to end. Also offers really cool shark charters if you had that dream of going after that thresher. Captain Dom is gearing up to go shark fishing right now as we speak. This week it's going to start. So if you'd like to book a shark trip, also extremely affordable price for 6 guys. Call 8-Ball Sportfishing Charter today. Okay, so we have our guest, Jeff Macedonia. Jeff is the owner and creator of Supernova Bait Co. Jeff, welcome to the NJ Multi-Species Podcast.
Thank you guys for having me this evening. It's pleasure to be on for you guys tonight, and hopefully we can go through some of the stuff that I do and explain myself a little bit better for you guys.
Well,
Yeah.
we were just talking before you came on here because we had a hybrid striped bass contest for the past 4 days. And it was mainly a night fishing contest. We both placed first and second. We were talking about the new, I guess not new, but the trend of the crazy colors, how the crazy color craze has become such a part of walleye plugs.
Correct. So a couple months back, I actually met Eddie at an expo where I was airbrushing and doing some baits there.
Which
and he'd
Eddie?
actually met from Mackin,
Eddie Mackin.
Eddie Mack, the charters, correct.
Yeah.
And he had asked me, he came up one day and he actually saw this jerkbait style that I airbrushed here. And he's like, that's something close to what I throw, but I usually use a bomber kind of lure. So, but he wanted it in a different style because they were hard to get. And I told him, you give me a design in color and I could put it on a 110 style bass jerkbait just as well as suspending jerkbait. And I can match the color combos that you're looking for and put it in a new style kind of bait. And we did that a couple months ago, and it seems to be very popular with him and a couple other people down in your region right now with everything that's going on. It seems to be a hot ticket item for these walleyes right now.
Yeah, so that's kind of how we found out about you. Eddie Mackin he texted me and he said, dude, you got to have this guy, Jeff, come on from Supernova. He's been, painting some lures for me. I didn't get in any of the details, so that's why I'm kind of excited to talk to you and ask you. But yeah, he's been all over that. I don't know how many lures you've made from or how many different color schemes you've done, but we've had an issue, right, with getting certain, because, guys get caught up in like the colors, right? And obviously it makes a difference sometimes, but I think a lot of it's in the angler's head. But if it's in your head, it's real, right?
There's a good saying where, you have 1,000 baits, but there's 6 go-tos that you're always going to go to. It's like one of those hobbies where this is my hobby, but I have 6 colors that I'm going to stick with. So with Eddie, I've made him over a dozen different designs and colors off of a bomber scheme and a jerkbait scheme. I've even created a couple of new ones. I worked on a new top water wake bait form that we haven't released that yet either for a night thing because, top water season's on the way for that. So that's something new that's in the works. And then the one that we're discussing that is really hot would be this style bait right here. I don't know if you guys can really focus in on that one.
Is that's suspending or floating?
Correct. This is a suspending 110 jerkbait.
Okay.
It's not finished. I still have to put the pearls in it. It's actually another order for Eddie. So I just wanted to figure I'd show you a bait that's in the process of my airbrushing. So basically,
is that pink lemonade?
No, it's just a neon pink that I use off of a color. I'm actually an auto body man by trade, so I work on vehicles. So actually, all the baits that I airbrush, I don't use airbrush paint. I actually use automotive paint. The finish is a lot shinier, the pearls are nicer, and it actually holds up a little bit better too. So that's a little bit different advantage on mine. So your normal pearls or paints that you would find on your normal baits in the store, I'm actually flipping it a little bit, and I'm using something that lasts on your car a little bit longer. So
and when you
that's
say
another little trick.
When you say you made a couple bomber type lures, you're talking about the bomber long A floater?
Yes, correct. So I took a couple of different color designs from there. Eddie wanted to incorporate the bomber style colors, but on a MegaBass 110 suspending jerkbait. So I took the colors, I matched what he had, and then I incorporated it onto a MegaBass. For some reason, between the bomber and the MegaBass 110 jerkbait, this suspending jerkbait has this wild action that they just can't resist.
Yeah, sometimes you just change one little thing and you all of a sudden can get a lot of these extra bites. It's crazy. But
Correct.
even just the fact that, like I was alluding to before, it's sometimes hard for us to get certain colors. Like we'll have a favorite color, which sounds like what happened with Eddie. He has some favorite colors, and all of a sudden the local bait shops have trouble getting those certain colors. And then you
Correct.
start getting in your own head. You want those colors. Now you can literally, someone can call you, place an order, send you a picture, say, hey man, can you put this on some of those other lures or even the same type of lure?
Correct. So I can pretty much take any bait style that you're looking for, and I can pretty much, I'm not going to say 100%, but 90% match what you would be looking for, because nothing is really ever 100%. But from the example I showed you before, that one's about 95% on from what Eddie requested, and he couldn't believe that. So,
well, I mean, can't argue. He's definitely happy with what he's getting, and it's obviously working because he was crushing it before, but he might be crushing it a little bit harder now. I mean, if I'm going to be honest. But
can I ask what is the average cost? Because we know manufactured stuff's always going to be cheaper. Now something custom like this is
right.
obviously going to cost more.
My baits vary. With Eddie, it's a little bit different of a situation because he orders them in bulk. So I gave him a little bit better pricing. But I mean, if you wanted a single lure or two retail, the MegaBass jerkbaits, I mean, if you go in any store, retail store, and you buy a MegaBass jerkbait, they're upwards from $20 to $30. I try and keep them in the range of 12 to 15 with the custom airbrushing. That's including with the hooks, the packaging.
Really?
It all costs money at the end of the day. So I still have to flip the bill on the packaging and stuff, but I try and bring a reliable bait that would last a while in a price range of your average person, because with the economy and everything the way it is, I'd really rather get the lure in your hand, try it, and then if you really like it, then we can talk further. But at the same time,
I got you. So you're gonna sell me one. You're gonna sell me one for $15, and then the next one's $80. I get it.
No, not at all. Not at all. Actually, to be honest with you, a lot of my customers, when they're repeat customers, I actually give them a better deal the second or third time around, only because they trust in me and I trust in them. If you talking to Eddie recently, he'll tell you I'm very strict with what I do for him is what I do for him. If there's other people that ask me for it, I created a thing with him. I ask him first before I even say, hey, I got a guy asking me for your lure. And he'll say, hey, make your money, Jeff. And, but it's a respect thing, because we discuss something. He also runs a charter, so it's his way of living. So not only is it my way of living, but it's his way of living too. So I don't want to take money out of his pocket either, so it's one of those things where you build a relationship over time and then you figure it out from there. So it wouldn't be in a situation where, I want this swim bait that Jeff has, or I want this jig that he tied. I wouldn't raise my prices. If anything, you deal with me more and you actually get a better price. So
I'm curious, as a lure maker, let's just say you came up with something, whatever it may be, some new idea, maybe it is a color, whatever, and this lure just destroys fish. Is there any way that can be like patented and copyrighted by you, or it's just going to be knocked off by everyone instantly?
Right. So there's a very thin line in the industry where that comes along. So I can patent the design, but somebody else can copy it. Now, the only thing is, the best thing that can happen for me is the reason why I do what I do is to create a design eventually to where a big lure company would want to buy that design. If they buy that design for me, then obviously I would sell it to them and then they can mass produce it. I'm not a factory where I can make thousands of them in a week. I can turn out 15, 20 maybe in a week for one customer and then work on another order. It's kind of hard. I can't just take over what I do, tell somebody, hey, I need you to make this, because it's not an easy art. You have to be an artist to do it. And secondly, it's just time consuming. It's a lot of time,
Oh yeah.
I run this business, but I also still work a full-time job. I'm within the next 2 weeks to be a dad. So I have a lot going on. And thank you. And I professionally fish too. So it's one of those things where it pulls me this way and then it takes me another way, but it's something that I'm very passionate about. I'm passionate about my fishing. I'm passionate about my lure making, and it's just something that I've done for a very long time. I created the business 5 years ago, only because I wanted to work with children and get them out on the water and the conservation. I wanted to make sure that I could pass down what I learned from generations to the next generation. That's what it's about, is our conservation and the sport. So that's what my main focus is. So my tackle shop's actually based out of a mobile trailer. I could go from event to event, and I host events for kids to bring them together and try and get these kids out and show them the right way to do things. So not only am I spaced in with the Catskill Outdoorsman, which is Ryan, who you did meet earlier, I'm based out of his store, and we run an archery and a fishing store, but I also do mobile events as well. And I can take the trailer, which is fully retail trailer, with my baits to an event, and I can sell them at the events too, and then teach kids as well.
And now you're not local to New Jersey, correct? Or where are you at?
I'm about an hour and a half. So I'm upstate New York.
Oh, okay.
I'm in right on the Sullivan County edge. I'm right before the Rockland County. So that's
Okay.
right around where I am. So
not
if you know,
Jeff,
if you know
what's that? What's in front of you in those bags? I can't see what those are. There's like
so the bags, these are my soft baits. So I do soft baits as well. I inject my soft plastic. So this is yep. So this is drop shot. This is a crawfish. These are Senkos. This is like this would be like a Berkeley power worm. Helgies. I can do it all. I make my own spinner baits as well. I bend the metal. I do all of it. I can tie flies. I make everything.
So now so I might have misunderstood about the jerk baits. I had the impression, because you said the MegaBass 110. So I got the impression that you were using like a blank mold of the same exact lure, but is it actually something you created that's just similar to that?
No, so it is a blank mold. I just buy them in bulk. But I buy the blanks to the most accurate of that jerkbait. It's not really, it's a knockoff, but it's really not. I have not had one issue with it whatsoever. I've actually broke a MegaBass jerkbait before I've broken my jerkbaits.
Well, and a lot of these big name companies keep, trying to make their stuff cheaper and cheaper, because for
they're
them,
probably the one selling him the knockoff for a cheaper price.
That's what happens. That's what happens at the grocery store. The store brand soup is made by Campbell's Soup or whatever,
So is the cereal. Cereal's the same.
So basically, and what I was going to say is, like, these big companies, they sell so much stuff that like knocking a couple cents off each lure saves them a lot of money, right? But then that makes maybe the plastic's thinner, maybe it's a little bit less quality. So it's really no surprise to me that you may be getting even a higher quality of plastic or whatever components in those mold, in those blanks, whatever, than you'd get out of the package from a big brand name.
I use a very reputable vendor down in South Carolina for my blanks. I've never had one issue for any of my blanks. Now, my soft plastics as well, or any of these materials, some materials you can buy off of Amazon and you create your lures from there. Some I have to pay from a big distributor. If you ever heard of the company Do It, I use them as well, or Anglin AI, their molds. It all depends on price point, So I go a couple of different routes. One, I try and be economic and try and save money, but at the same time, when it comes to the quality of the bait, I'd rather pay a couple cents more for a better bait than to shy out and be like, hey, I threw this jerk bait one time and it broke. Now I need to come back. What are you going to do for me? That's not the kind of person that I want to be. I want to be that guy, like Eddie said, like, hey, I made him 12 different designs, 6 each, and he's like, oh, I got 16 more colors I want you to create. It's great. It's amazing, So it's a great thing.
I can't believe that you're saying $12 to $15 for a custom painted jerkbait.
Yeah.
Like I use Rapala
Yep.
jerkbaits that cost more than that.
Right.
That's really.
And if you ever want to see a lure break a lot, you use Rapala.
Right.
Sorry.
I honestly believe in, with the economy, the way it is and everything that's going on in this world these days, there's a lot of people that struggle to get out on the water, or they can't afford that nice $20 Rapala lure or anything. This, I can make you whatever you want, and it's a reasonable price for your normal family. You know, it's something that's, at the end of the day, I set my prices to where I know I'm going to make a couple of dollars, but I'm not looking to get rich. It's one of those things where I have more of a passion in the bait itself to know, hey, I caught a fish with that and you send me a picture. That makes me feel better than any dollar amount. Really, it feels better to know that the product that I'm putting out there works better than, oh yeah, I made $20 off of Joe Schmo, and you know, maybe he'll come back, maybe he won't. That's not what it's about. I like the story. That's like I said with the kids. I want people to learn. If they don't know, I want to teach them. If they do know, I want to advance them a little bit more. You know, so that's why I try and keep my baits at the prices that they are.
I mean, like Joe said. I mean, that's what I'm paying for a lot of the, lures that
price.
Yeah, it's not really, maybe $1 or $2 more of some of them, and like equal to a lot of the other ones. So I mean, that's crazy. I thought you were going to say more than that.
But now you're saying, if now after the show ends and we tell you our favorite color bomber and we want it on the 110, you have to go to Eddie Mackin and get his permission to make that lure?
Not quite. So I have a certain set of lures that me and Eddie have discussed. And Eddie, usually when we have a conversation, there's just a couple of his close friends that have reached out to me that go, hey, I need what Eddie needs. I'm going to make sure Eddie makes his money first. You know, if Eddie says it's fine, then I'll make it, you know, but it doesn't, you want to give me a custom color that you're looking for, that you want to go fish, you're more than welcome to reach out to me and I'll make it for you. That's not an issue.
Well, and then
really bad.
You can't give it to him then. You can't give ours to him.
Yeah. If Eddie starts to want our colors, he ain't getting shit.
Let me put it to you this way. If Eddie does that to you guys, this is how it'll be. He's going to have to trade one that he has for me off for one that he has for you. And then maybe you guys can work a deal out, and then we'll talk of me making them for you.
I mean, I'm
wearing
an Eddie Mackin's Rippin' Lips Fishing Trip shirt. I mean, I'm not going to be able to get his lures.
We're going to
crazy.
I never said you couldn't, but I will ask him.
No, that is pretty cool. That
better let
you. To be honest with you, it's a respect thing. Right. I care because we're both in business to make money. If he was out fun fishing, fine, but it's something he does for a living also. You know, he takes people out, he charges people to go out and give them a good time. And it is something exclusive to him. It's not that I won't make it for you, but you know, it's a respect thing for me. I was always brought up to have respect and, you know, just do the right thing. So that's pretty much what I'm trying.
Because basically, all joking aside, basically he's taking from a color scheme that exists, but it's modified. It's not the same. So he's kind of inventing a color scheme per se.
It's like we're trying to reinvent the wheel a little bit, you know. So it's a color scheme that is out there, but we're putting it in a new kind of fashion. Because the bomber baits, yes, people know them and they love them, but a MegaBass bait works well on bass and walleye also. And if you can combine the two colors, which we have, it makes for better fishing. And with the suspended rattle, everything that's in this bait with the rattles, the hooks I use, Eddie will tell you about my hooks. I trust in these hooks that are just, it sticks them and they're hard to get out. He even has trouble unhooking the fish from my hooks, you know? So I'm going to keep the hook thing a little bit of a secret. But other than that, the designs, I'll do anything that anybody asks of me. I don't have an issue with it, but I will say I'm not going to be 100% on the design. I can pretty much match it about 90%. All I ask is if you do place an order, I usually say it's about a week lead time, only because the time period it takes for me to make them from the cure then get them hooked, packaged. By the time I get them said and done, it's usually about a week.
I got to imagine, just like anyone that's going to hear this, basically, you could get a MegaBass 110 for a fraction of the price. I mean,
Correct.
It's not the same exact, but I mean,
And
I don't know.
color you like, and your favorite color.
Right. It could be a color that you grew up with that is discontinued, and you want it on a jerkbait. I don't do just jerkbaits. I can do any style hard bait that you want.
I'm staring at this. I'm curious about the spinnerbait because I know like everybody loved the Terminator, and that's gone. The spinnerbait, a good spinnerbait's getting harder and harder to find now.
Right. So I bend them all by hand also.
And what material do you use? Is it just the basic material? Because I remember those.
Yeah, it's basic steel material, and then it's your common beads with your clasps, and then a willow blade and a Colorado blade. I usually buy 3/8 or 1/2 ounce heads that are built into the wire, and then I just bend them by hand.
I remember the Terminator spinnerbaits that Joe was talking about. I truly believe that they stopped making that because they were like almost indestructible. So guys would buy a couple and then they'd never see they'd never get the customers again.
Right. I can tell you right now, when I fish professional tour, I usually use, everybody's heard of the term War Eagle. I use their spinnerbaits a lot. 2 or 3 fish, I'm throwing that thing out, and that's a $9 spinnerbait. I charge $8 for mine. That's how much mine are, and I can make them in any color, bead formation, and blade you want.
Oh, you'll change the blades too, like you could do it.
I could do silver. I could do gold. Yeah, I could do whatever you want. Colorado, willow.
This guy's gonna go on my speed dial as soon as this ends. You're right in my phone book.
No joke. No, all joking aside. Again, I used to dabble in like making lures, right? I had some of the do-it stuff, some molds, soft plastics, pour some lead, whatever. I haven't done it in a while. It kind of became not a hassle, but it became a lot of work. And like I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'd rather fish more. I got a kid now too, 5 months old. Like I don't have time to do it as much as I'd like to. But what I will say is, when I was doing it. And for anyone who hasn't, dabbled in making their own stuff, they won't know what I'm talking about. But when you take a lure, right, that you like to use and you make it yourself and change just something little on it, whether it be a color or a size, and you modify it to fit your favorite waters, it makes a huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm working on a patent now. I do have a custom color in soft plastic that I have created for myself called Supernova. I don't have an example on the table, but I can show it to you. But I obviously don't want to reveal the secrets of what I have in that. Ryan actually is going to grab me a bag of it real quick, and I can show you. So what is it? You created the color? I created
itself?
My own color also.
That is so cool.
I created my own. I've created my own color in a soft plastic line that also I have pictures, tons of pictures of where they catch tons of fish. I'm working on a patent with it. The problem is right away when I first opened business, someone tried to take the design. They came up to me one day and they're like, "Oh, what is that? How did you do that?" And
are you sure you want to show this?
I'm going to show it real fast. I'll show it real fast. It's in a Helgi bait.
Pause the video.
But I'll show it fast.
I love Helgermite stuff too.
Just blur that out in post production.
Yeah, we don't what? No.
It's a clear body, but I'm going to tell you right now, you can add any glitter style you want in it. There's a glitter in there.
Is that for a Ned head?
Yeah, you could use it for a Ned rig. Yep.
And that's called Supernova. That's the color.
That color is called Supernova. Color. Correct. That is my own color. And then that would be the Supernova jig because I really like the color. It's in the skirt as well.
Now cool. it's got to be super tough to patent like a color pattern. Like how would you do that?
I love stuff with purple too.
I'm just waiting. Well, the two. if anybody's ever told you fish, the two colors any fish associate to the most is green and purple. That's the first thing anybody should ever know. The two colors that any fish ever associate the best with is green and purple. So I figured put it in my design. It's a lot of paperwork. I'm still in the process of it. That's why I don't want to put out any more details in it.
Can I ask and stop why that would be? Because there's nothing in the lake purple. Like, why are they looking at stuff that's purple?
It's not about what's in the lake. It's about the eyes. If a fish can see almost 10 times more better than a human can. So that color, now, if you ever watch a color chart, maybe if someone wants to go on YouTube, take a chartreuse worm, right? Drop it in and then watch it go into the depth. Watch how the color changes as it goes deeper. Try that on YouTube later. Look up a color change in the depth of water for a bass lure or a walleye lure. The color changes as you go deeper.
Really?
No, and the purple doesn't change as much.
No, it actually gets brighter. It actually gets brighter. So like the chartreuse, when it gets deeper, it actually turns a more yellow color than it is like a green. It's funny
because the lure that me and him used actually to come in first and second in the contest we're talking about actually does have a lot of purple in it. Right. It has more purple in it than most of them, right, Chris?
Right. And it has some green.
It has green and purple.
The bait that I made
can't use it now.
The bait that I made for Eddie, yes, it has the pink up top, but we're also running the purple on the back. And the finished version with the pearl is actually green pearl on the sides with chartreuse on the bottom.
Oh, that sounds exactly like the same lure. He stole it from us.
All kinds of stuff going on here. This is like a mad scientist laboratory.
Look, this is great. I don't want to take up your whole night, but I invented my own soft plastic lure like years and years ago, right? And like I made it out of clay. I hardened it. And I poured a mold around it, and I created this worm, right? And I did some kind of like lure making contest with Larry Dahlberg. I don't know if he still does it. He used to have like a lure. You know what I'm talking about? It's like
I do, yeah.
You know who Larry Dahlberg is, right?
Yeah. I would have to see it, right?
Anyway, he had this because he had a site where you could buy lure parts and stuff, and he had this contest right where you could submit, and I had this idea. I made it. I took it to the local lakes, and I caught. And I'm not joking. I'm not trying to sell it anyway, so I have no reason to lie. So there's this lake that I fish all the time.
Sales pitch.
And I've caught a lot of what was that?
Sales pitch.
No, so I've caught a lot of nice bass in it. I'd say I'd go out and I would expect on a good day to catch at least one 18, 19-inch bass. And on a lot of days, I could pull a 20-incher out of there. And over the course of 8 or 7, 8 years at that point, I'd caught maybe one 21-inch bass. Okay, so I took this lure after playing around with it and getting it just right. It was a type of worm, but it had a completely different shape and movement. And after I kind of made it to my specifications, I took it out in that lake, and I'm not shitting you again. I'm not trying to even sell this lure or anything. That first time I used that lure on that same lake that I fished for almost a decade, I caught a 22-inch bass and a 24-inch bass. And I just
the difference is when you did that, right? After that happened, how did you feel about your own lure and catching those kind of fish?
I went crazy. Like in my head, I was like, I can sell this. I'm going to sell this thing. I'm going to sell this to Berkeley.
And that's why I do what I do, is because of the passion of it. I create it. I want to see people enjoy it, and I want people to have a good time. It's not about the money. It's not about the designs always. It's more about, I'd rather see a kid smile and have a good time with his dad than, hey, I paid $40 for the best name brand lure I can buy on my look at my tackle box. I try and keep it to where it's family oriented, very good price points, anything that you could possibly want custom wise. and I try and work with everybody. So that's pretty much what
That's awesome.
Supernova is all about.
Well, the most important part here, Jeff, is you want to explain to everyone watching how and where they can find Supernova stuff.
Yeah, so actually we're located in Jeffersonville, New York, right on Main Street. My number is 845-707-2447. You can call me by cell. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Supernova Bait Co. You can DM me a message there. You can call me. You can stop in on store, and sometimes you'll catch me around in store making lures, or if I'm not here, I'm out fishing a tournament or I'm doing the family life, you know.
That's awesome.
We're located. The address for the store is 4882 Jeffersonville, New York 52, 12748. If anybody's looking to come to the store.
And is there? I know you probably, to keep your costs down, you don't sell these over a website. Then I'm assuming.
I do not sell them over website. It's usually I deal mainly with Facebook and Instagram because it's more of like a friend thing. But I've expanded pretty much to the point where in store and out in public, a lot of people are getting to know everything that we do, especially here with Supernova. We're based out of the Catskill Outdoorsman. It's not just a fishing store. We're an archery store as well. We do virtual simulator. We have an indoor range. So we try and cater to everything: fishing, hunting, camping. We do it all. So it's not just one thing, you know? So I want everybody to be able to do everything that you could possibly do in the outdoors. Our slogan is find the peace in the outdoors. You know, that's what we do. So,
and I just have one more important question, because
sure,
we like to especially when we're working plugs, jerkbaits, top water, stuff like that slow, we like to smear lip glue on it, which is like an oil-based scent. And when you do that on some lures, it like eats, I don't know, the paint, like especially Rapalas, like the paint just like melts off of it. And
I have my own special scent that I use, and you can put them on my hard baits, and it does not take the paint off.
So you're
that a Wonder Bread? He just held up a Wonder Bread.
Yes,
I think
that is a walleye.
Wonder Bread. Look at it. There it is with a deeper nose on it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, yeah, you say it's a walleye lure, but I mean, sorry, but the other fish that are eating at night like those same lures.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Here's another walleye one. Another walleye one in a perch design that I create.
I love the shape of them. Their shape's so cool.
They look beautiful, man. You paint those all by hand with the airbrush, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
I don't understand why you would ever buy another like jerkbait from the store when you get one of these for $15. That's crazy.
You know, I still buy name brand stuff too. You go with what works, but at the same time, I know my stuff works. There's a lot of it in my boat. I've won tournaments off of it. That's why I'm trying to get to where I am with it. Hopefully, like I said,
I'm putting them in my speed dial here.
Look, I'm a huge cynic with like everything. Like I want to see it work first. I'm just gonna steal one from Mackin, and then once I see, you know, once I see that it works with my own eyes, then I'm just gonna call you and order. I'm gonna start, you know, trying to steal Mackin's.
Do me a favor. After we're done, send me a message, and I'll send you a special package, and then you won't have to worry about it.
Yes.
I mean, I'll
make sure I take care of you guys.
I won't steal one.
Don't give his address because he keeps everything, gives me nothing.
That's a lie. Well, no, that's a lie. The people send me the stuff because they know.
You both have my number. I explained it. I explained it in here, and you both have my number. You're more than welcome to reach out. Send both addresses. I'll make sure you both get a care package.
Yes. Jeff, I have to thank you so much for taking the time to come on the NJ Multispecies podcast and talk to us. I look really forward to talking to you ongoing and getting some of these lures for sure. And thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys having the time for me, and I'm glad to be here. And if there's anything you guys ever need, like I said, give me a shout. Supernova Bait Co. 845-707-2447. Give me a shout. I'll take care of it for you.
Yeah, dude, and you're welcome to come on anytime in the future. Like once you get your lure patented and you want to actually like explain what it is and like get the word out on it, like you're more than welcome to come back anytime.
Right. I would like to step into that a little bit further. I need a little bit more time. I'm working on that, like I said. But other
Sure.
than that, that sounds like a good time as well. So
All right,
Awesome.
Jeff. Thank you so much. Have a good night, and we will definitely talk to you soon.
thank you very much. You guys as well.
Awesome. Take care, Jeff.
Take care.
Eddie Mackin's Rippin' Lips Fishing Trips. Just talked a lot about Eddie Mackin with our guest and all the secret lures he's secretly been making for him behind all of our backs. We now know, Eddie, the secret's out. But Eddie is continuing to pound fish on Lake Pacon, the only lake he offers his services on. So if you are looking to book a trip on Lake Pacon, call Eddie Mackin. You are also guaranteed to fish with only Eddie Mackin, as he is guaranteed to be your guide. Also offers the red eye trip if you're alone. He'll match you with another angler that's also alone. Pontoon boat also available for rent or trips done by Eddie. You can bring a larger number of people, and it's great for kids. Chris is wearing the shirt. Call Mackin's Rippin' Lips Fishing Trips today. YellowDogPaddle.com continuing to hammer fish on Round Valley. You saw that gigantic rainbow trout 2 weeks ago from Mike Herman. The same trend continues. Pounding Fish on Round Valley continues to offer the fishing lessons. If you want to learn how to set your own boat up to troll those lakes and reservoirs, Mike will take you out and give you an in-depth on how everything's set up and how to run it. Also, they always do their paddle trips on the kayaks. Tons to offer. YellowDogPaddle.com. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. $15, $12 to $15 for custom jerk baits, and I love the shape of those MegaBass 110s. I was actually like researching some of the stuff online, and it said like FireTiger, when they first experimented with crazy colors for fishing, FireTiger was like the first one. That was the first crazy color lure ever made. And then the second one was Clown. They considered that like the generation 2 of crazy colors. But now these colors have gone outrageous to where there's like 9 different colors in one pattern. But it said online that was like in the 60s when they first released FireTiger. It was considered to be like the first lure of unnatural color.
Yeah, it just seems like it's some kind of contrast thing that just triggers them into.
Well, it's crazy because they don't see how we see, and we can't see how they see, and we're making shit for them to see, but we don't know how they see. So we're almost like guessing, but we're testing it to see what works and trying. It's
almost
to put it
like
together.
Think about it like this, right? Like because Chuck says all the time he's colorblind, right? So when you're colorblind, certain colors, like someone sees a red, someone who's colorblind might see like an almost gray or brown or whatever it is, right? So if you wanted to make something that someone who's colorblind like Chuck, you want to make something that Chuck would see and be interested in, what would you do? If you don't know what colors he can see or how he sees colors, what would you do?
We should just start giving Chuck weird stuff and tell him it's like, here's what we've been hitting him on, Chuck. It's like the worst color. He can't see it anyway.
Well, my point is,
he'll make it work somehow.
You would, yeah, he's going to catch fish no matter what. But my point is, what you would do to someone who's colorblind to achieve that is you would just put a bunch of different colors and just expect the contrast of some version of those colors to trigger something, right? Like oh yeah, these two colors next. And I think that's what's happening.
I never knew that about the purple and the green thing. I knew the red thing. I know Frank Mahalik taught me the red goes invisible at a certain depth. But the purple green, I never knew.
Yeah, I always just thought like the spectrum of colors, right? Like in a rainbow, like red is at one end. That's the color that disappears first, basically, when light starts going away. And at the other end, you have violet, which is basically purple. That's the color that stays true to itself in lower light. I guess I might not be explaining this right, but you get the basic idea.
Yeah.
And everything in between.
All right. Well, Supernova Baits, you could check him out. All his information he left there behind. The Gambler, I just want to touch on the Gambler real quick. They are switching now to half-day trips, so they'll be doing 3 trips per day on Friday and Saturday. fluking and sea bass in the morning, and then the night trips on the wrecks for ling and squid. But sea bass is closing the 19th, so you are running out of time on sea bass trips, and then it'll be all fluke.
I've never done a squid trip.
I never have either. I told him that when he said that back to me, and he said, "Yeah, bring an ultralight rod. They're fun. It's fun as hell. Calamari." I mean, he said they catch those, but he said he would let a few go out first to see first before, make sure the squid are there before you specifically go for the squid. And then, I mean, I don't know if we have enough time because we pushed too late tonight, but you had an unbelievable trip up in Cape Cod with Doug. I don't know if you want to touch on that now or if you want to save it when you have more time.
I mean, I won't drag it out, but and we've got plenty of video. Like we just started. We're so backed up with like
we're terrible.
Recording fishing stuff and all that, like
it's bad.
Trying to share stuff with people.
We're like 6 trips back.
Yeah, so we're just getting into it now, and I think you said I had like a piece of bird shit on the lens half the time. I don't know.
Well, I was watching it, and I'm watching the video. The whole video is like crystal clear, and then when you get to the togging, like something happens, and I guess something got on the lens, and I'm saying, is he gonna wipe it off? And no, he doesn't. Like it's in the next 50 clips. Like there's this piece of shit.
The entire tog fishing is just with that thing and like blurring
all the tog fishing has a streak of shit down the middle. Like I'm gonna try to clean it, but the flounder stuff's crystal clear. Chris is still getting to know his GoPro. I obviously have learned to wipe my lens off every 5 minutes because of this. I'm paranoid of it, but it does happen.
Anyway, well, yeah, okay. I mean, the flounder
it's still
fishing,
usable though. It's just got a little annoying spot there.
Whatever. We're gonna try to pull some clips from it and stuff because it was absolutely awesome. I mean,
the flounder stuff's amazing. The black fishing's amazing too. Unbelievable.
The flounder fishing was actually so. This trip got changed. You were supposed to come on it. It got the only other date he had open at that time was a Tuesday. I said, all right, sorry, work. I'm not coming in. Jen Wong is retired, so he could come, no problem. You couldn't get off. You couldn't make it. So I actually had trouble filling that third spot, and I actually brought this guy, Ed. It's actually the father of one of my coworkers who, when he retired recently, he decided he wanted to learn how to fish. He'd never really fished much other than a couple of trips on vacation. So he's brand new to fishing, told me he wanted to learn how to fish. That's how I met him, through my coworker. And I basically just keep throwing him into the fire of like, the first time was an 8-ball trip, like, hey, we're going sea bass and like be here at 5 a.m. This trip was even crazier. It was like I called him the day before and I said, hey, we're leaving at midnight. We're getting up to Cape Cod. We're fishing, and we're coming right back. And he thought I was nuts, but he called me back 15 minutes later and he said, screw it, I'm in. So the three of us went, and he picked up on it, after a little bit of time, to both the flounder and the tog. And it's just great. And what's crazy is the flounder fishing this time was not even near as good as it was last year. And it was still like Jen Wong, who this was his first experience, was like, what the hell are you talking about? That wasn't good. Like, that was insane. That was awesome. And I was just like, no, I'm not saying it wasn't awesome. I'm just saying, like, we had to work for it a little bit this time. Last time was insane. But the black fishing I didn't get to do last time. And this time, I mean, I could tell you, it was great. I finally got to use the rod that Eddie from Toggy Time Jigs made me. I've been like, he made me this. He had it to me before the spring season here. And all our spring trips got canceled. Every time I tried to use it on the Gambler, try to blackfish when we were sea bassing even. I wanted to catch a blackfish on it just to like test it out. I finally got to use it, dude. That rod is sick. I would highly recommend you call him and have one made, man. It is
that good.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Don't get me started. So I just ordered a rod and reel, I think, for Father's Day from Mark Mercer, Jigging World. I'm just too. I have so many.
Oh, but that's for something else. This is specifically for tog jigging, dude.
Like, oh no, but the rod that I'm getting specifically to go flounder fishing with him. It's specifically for that.
Oh, he just had an opening for Father's Day. Are you going to try to get there?
Father's Day is like a tough day for me to leave because I am a father and I also have a father, so I gotta like spend time here.
Yeah, it's
So
tough.
I don't. Yeah,
But
a lot of boats do have that date available. Like you could get a spot on Father's Day. The day before Father's Day, Saturday, it's impossible to get on anything. Like
yeah,
everything's booked everywhere, and
I,
that's
I
the
don't.
day I could go. But you can't
Well,
get on anything. I'll take my
whatever.
own boat and
Well,
go freshwater.
hopefully next year, I guess. Then you can go.
I'm getting my new rod, and yeah, I'll be Doug. If you're watching, I'll be ready for next year.
So
Keep it
yeah,
on a weekend, and
hey,
but we'll
yeah,
book 2 days. So
and just for the record, last year you were supposed to come on that too.
was I? Why
Yeah,
did I miss it last year?
because Katie was coming too, and we were turning it into like a little
Oh,
long
it's second.
weekend
Yeah, I
vacation,
remember that.
and you
Oh
didn't.
no, yeah, you wanted to do like a walk around Cape Cod, right?
Well, it was basically like we were fishing in the morning as part of like this little long weekend
Little
vacation.
date. Yeah, it was a date, and you invited me. I wanted to go, but I would have been on the Cape Cod date. I
Well,
remember.
you could have brought your own wife.
She gets seasick.
Well, she could have just done the Cape Cod stuff, and then.
She should be
But
thrown to
anyway,
the surf fishermen.
anyway, I mean, yeah, this Toggy Time rod. If anyone's looking for
Did
a,
you book us for next year with this guy? Because now I think
I
everyone's
don't
going to
think he,
book.
I don't think he has his books open for next year already. I'll ask him.
You bet. Jen Wong said he already booked the trip for next year.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he probably took your date.
Jen Wong's nuts, dude. On the ride home, he was asleep. I'm sorry, I'm just telling this story. He's asleep, right? And like Ed's in the back seat. I'm driving Jen's car back because I promised him I'd drive, the way back if he drove. So he's asleep. All right. Me and Ed are talking about I don't even remember what. And Jen wakes up and just starts yelling at Ed about like illegal immigrants. Like you
Oh
just
my God. Jen, what is going on?
I'm like, Jen, what are you? What's not what we're talking about? And
Is
he's
he
like,
having
I don't
nightmares
care. I think he,
about illegal immigrants,
I
Jen?
think, I think maybe he napped through like his medicine time, and he was like past the.
Having some kind of a PTSD flashback from when he was a repo man and was like
Yeah, I
probably
don't.
attacked by a dog or something.
Oh God, we got all those stories going down, man. But
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sure.
if anyone's looking for a Tog jig rod, I mean the Toggy Time jig rods are sick, and it's a custom rod in his specifications. Like you get whatever colors you want, whatever handle, stuff like that. I got the acid wrap on mine. You get it straight if you want, whatever. Because I did mine in bait cast, so you can do spinning. Dude, when you set the hook with this rod and like I don't know how to explain it. When you set the hook, it bends just enough to like you're not gonna break it off, but you don't lose like you have enough power or backbone on there that you can control the fish, but it's
Yeah.
still so light that like I'm using a 1 ounce or less jig, and it was just insane. And the black fishing there is like pretty shallow, and you're just flipping to this rock pile. It was awesome, dude. You can
Yeah,
only
I'll try to put some videos up.
yeah, you can only keep one per person, but I've never been so happy just catching and releasing blackfish, and they were the size quality was so nice, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed it. Sounds
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
So yeah, we will be back next week again. I don't know who the guest is. If you are going out this weekend to fish for Father's Day, happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Do you want to
Chris
know who
said-
the guest is, or you just
Who
want to
is the
say you
guest?
don't know who it is?
It's so late, I gotta go. But who is
All
it?
right. Well, next week we got Jose from Cast King. Finally.
Oh, Cash King. Yeah, okay. Next week's Cash King, Jose. So yeah, we'll be back next week with Cash King. That's it for me. Happy Father's Day to everyone. See you next week.
Oh, that's it. It's over.
I'm over.
Suffer for the fish. Suffer for the night fish.
There it is. There it is.